ForYourChi.com here with your weekly tarot card reading for November the 5th through November 11th, 2018. I had to go back and look at last week's card for the weekend. I feel like, sometimes cards pertain to me and sometimes they don't. I really don't feel like this card pertained to me this past weekend because this weekend was rough for me. And it has been rough for several people that I know. There's just some very unusual things going on. People are having health problems. One of my friends was in a car accident. It hasn't been fun. So hopefully things will start to turn around here soon. Card for Monday, Tuesday is the universe. This is a good message. It's the world card in traditional tarot, and it means that you simply have to open your arms and give gratitude for all of the goodies that the universe has to deliver. It's a great message. Card for the midweek, sacral chakra. So this means that you're in desire mode. And I've said this before. The problem with being in desire mode is that you're feeling lack. And we never get what we want when we're in lack mode. We have to get out of lack mode by asking for what we want and then giving gratitude. So the more thankful that we are for our blessings, the more that our blessings are pouring into our life. So just remember that midweek. And then the card for the weekend is Memories of Love. So this is you reminiscent of times past and probably of a relationship, an old flame, an old love. And we are in Venus retrograde, smack in the middle of it now, where old relationships can resurface. That does not mean that you should go back to that person because everyone is sort of thinking this way right now. One of my relatives just contacted me today and said that she had 2 people from her past come out of the woodwork. An ex may write to you, send you a text, give you a call. You may hear from your exes. Some of you have already heard from your exes. So that is not a sign to go back with them at this time because whatever happens during Venus retrograde in relationships typically reverses itself. I've never heard of anyone getting back together long term during a Venus retrograde. This will end around mid-December, but you may feel effects, a month later. So just look out for that. Be very cautious of who returns from your past at this time until January. Okay, so I was told to pull a 4th card, and so this card is sort of the energy of this entire week. They're telling you to have balance, so this means diet, exercise, enough rest. A lot of us aren't getting enough of that right now. So, and 2, I'm also getting the message that someone is doing too much for a certain person or in a situation. So this is a time where you either politely say no, you don't have time, or ask for help in the situation. You're doing too much yourself, and you don't want to be sucked dry. It's not fun to be sucked dry, and there's always a penalty for it, and it's usually your health. I've decided to take some of my exotic decks, like I said last week, for the oracle messages, and this one is from the crystal deck, and this is hematite. And I've always equated hematite with a healing stone. There's a lot of jewelry that's made out of it. It sort of has it's a black stone, but it has like a silvery mirror type finish to it. And this card is talking about protection. And the next card talks about protection too, that I'm going to go through. So it's just kind of interesting that both cards here are reminding you of these oracle messages, are reminding you that you are protected. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't call in protection. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of that, so please do so. But this card is talking about specific protection from demons outside and in. Isn't that interesting? And then the very next sentence is talking about protection from your own substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, what have you. And I always read, whenever the devil card comes up in my regular tarot, I always read that card as a substance abuse because 75% of the time that's what it means. So this card helps you to overcome those obstacles, and it also helps overcome obstacles of self-dependent, um, no, codependent relationships rather, and get you out of bad situations. So if one of the aforementioned afflictions is bothering you right now, I would advise you to get some hematite, a stone, preferably a pendant or something that you can wear, um, so that way the energy, that touches your skin, so that way the energy will flow through you. Okay, so this card came from, I've never pulled from this deck ever, and God knows how many years I've had it. The Goddess a Day cards, Goddesses of the New Light. And ironically, this is the card that's depicted on the front of this deck. So this is Isis. And Isis, you can see the third word there is protector. And as I'm reading the book of what it says about Isis, I've pulled Isis 1,000 times, just not in this deck, and I've never heard this story before. This book indicates that Isis and her beloved Osiris, which I knew that, apparently she saved him twice from very bad situations and resurrected him from the dead. And on one of those occasions, he was chopped into pieces by an evil stepbrother, and he was missing his penis, and she reconstructed it out of gold, and afterwards they conceived their son. The name is, it's Horus. So isn't that interesting? And then the message to you all is, you are in a protected state. Your positive attitude and demeanor can open doors and work miracles. Trust your intuition as Isis is behind it. And I think it was last week or the week before that we pulled something psychic, the third eye. If you are seeking a soulmate, stay tuned, because she is the goddess of soulmates. So the affirmation, which I love that this deck has affirmations, most of them don't. I am blessed and lived protected and glorious. So, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, if you ask me. We could really use some protection right now in these days. All right, so that's it for your weekly reading. If you'd like to get a hold of me for a personal reading or anything else, send me an email, tarotbyphone@gmail.com. And please like and share my videos, and also please subscribe to my channel so that you can get an inbox whenever I post a new video. Thanks everyone, have a great night. Week.